we will begin. So, the morning sun filters through the canopy, casting dappled light across the desert. You are among some of the jaguar warriors. The air is thick with humidity, and there is a scent of crushed herbs and a threat of rain in the distance, but for now, the jungle beyond breathes in stillness. Garrett, the captain, stands as tall and composed as he can for his age, and his scales shimmer slightly in the light, and his voice is low and deliberate. And he says, "Today's task is simple. A cluster of sunspike bloom has been spotted near the southern ridge. We need samples for the healers, and there are reports of glassback drakes nesting too close to the river trail. If they're still there, drive them off." And he looks over, the half a dozen people gathered before him, and you're all clad in your armors and hides, and you're bearing your weapons. And as he says that to you, how does Amaru react, given instructions?
Neutral about the instructions part, but about the instructions itself, she is like this eager anticipation about her, like she's like already on edge, wanting to fight something.
Mm-hmm. So as he looks around for everybody's reactions, you see beside you, Manco stretches and puts his arms up above his head and lets out a low scoff, if you will, and he's like, "Sunspike bloom, what are we, gardeners now?" And then he glances to the side and smirks at you and says, "Try not to get lost chasing butterflies, Amaru. Or do. Maybe the jungle will teach you something." And a couple of the warriors around let out a little chuckle and then stop themselves.
Amaru fully glares at Manco and goes, "Manco, I will make you eat dirt. I'm going to wipe that stupid snake off your face!"
He jumps back as if she's gonna lunge at him, and lets out a pretending that he's not frightened sort of vibe, and he's like, "Yeah, alright, whatever." And then you see Garrett lets out a really sharp, and he's like, "Manco, you'll lead the second group. Amaru, you take point with the first." And his smirk completely disappears. And he looks directly, Garrett looks directly at you, and he just looks under his breath and says, "You've earned this." And so, you guys are sent. I will move. You are with the group, Killer and two other unnamed, for now, jaguar warriors, and you head off into the jungle, and Manco heads a different way with some of the others. And so so these guys are with you, and you can place yourself. Oh, hang on, I have moved you, haven't I? Yeah. Cool.
Oh, I'm here.
Checking. I totally know how to DM. Great start. Okay, so as soon as you enter, this forest is thick with mist and heat and the smell of wet earth. The vines are hanging from the canopy above, and there are echoes of distant birds that call out from all throughout the trees. And as you move into the rainforest, you're thinking, this is a day to prove yourself. If there are these creatures there and you can drive them back and do a better job than Manco, it's well, I've done a good thing. Maybe that's what's going through Amaru's head right now. And as you head deeper and deeper into the rainforest, you see tracks, and these sunspike blooms that you are supposed to be collecting. There are a few of them, but it looks as though something has been having a snack on a lot of them. What do you do?
I go to glance around. Is Nina or is Nina is with me, right?
Killer.
Killa, keep an eye on the trees. I don't like these tracks.
Okay.
And I don't know if I would know the name of the other two.
We will go with I'm trying to come up with something off the dome because I didn't write names for them. We will go with Eliza for this one, and we will go with Amir for this guy.
Yeah.
Eliza and Amir.
Eliza, begin to gather the flowers. Emir, come with me. We're going to look at the tracks. See if we can learn what's lurking.
They both give a nod, and Amir begins to follow you, and Eliza, and I'll say Killer is also helping gather, but she's keeping a wary eye on the trees. But yeah.
Would this be I'm going to assume nature or like survival, something like that, to like see what kind of animal or creature might have left these tracks?
Yeah, I'll say either nature, survival, or even investigation. Any of those I'm happy for you to use.
Yeah, I'm going survival. 8.
Okay, so as you're looking, you were told by Garrett that there were some glassback drakes that were spotted nesting here. And upon first inspection, you're looking around and you're like, yeah, they're tracks, but these tracks don't look fresh. And so you're having a look around, and just as you think you're about to figure it out, I'll say the reason you rolled so low, well, it wasn't that low, but the reason that it was a low roll is because as soon as you step out and look at these tracks, you hear, not in the distance anymore, but right above you, this crash of thunder, and it begins to pour with rain. It's a monsoon like you've never seen. It's just buckets of water crashing through the canopy. It's blinding, it's deafening. The entire rainforest around you disappears, and you cannot see your allies. Sorry, there we go. And so you all rush in different directions to try and find shelter. Where does Amaru go to try and find some shelter?
The biggest tree she can find.
Okay, so you rush and clamber towards this giant tree that you can see, and I imagine there's these huge like palm fronds, and I can just picture Amaru like hiding underneath them, maybe pulling them over her head for, shelter from this this rain is whipping against leaves, the thunder is rolling like drums of war in the background, and after about 10 minutes, the weather eases, and it's now like a gentle speckle, and it's almost as if the monsoon that was just completely surrounding you dissipates, and the sun begins to shine through the the leaves again, and there's like speckles of sunlight on the floor. But as you look around, you cannot see any of your allies that you came here with.
Damnation. Wonder where they go. Possible to see tracks with this rain.
If you want to make another survival or perception check, you can have a look if you can see anything.
Survival. Oh god.
Okay.
9.
So you search for tracks, you listen for voices, movement, nothing. All you can hear is the leftover rain that is like dripping from leaf to leaf, and it's like every now and then like a drip, drip, drip as the rest of this water just sort of seeps into the ground and off the trees, and you feel pretty isolated. These people that you've come here with, you don't know where they've gone. You don't think that they would have left and gone back without you, but there's no sign of them. And now that the storm's softened, it's not completely gone, but it's distant, and like I say, there's just little speckles. It's almost like I can't remember the word, but it's almost like a shower now rather than a torrential rain situation.
Yeah.
But as you stand in this clearing, you do hear movement, but it isn't the movement of anything you've ever heard. You are trained with these people. You know, you've become familiar with the sound of their footsteps. These footsteps that you are hearing are beyond comprehension. They are massive. And then you see in the distance the trees begin to move as though something is moving towards you. And in front of you, from the shadows, steps this giant stag. And it isn't threatening, it's not running towards you, it is walking gently through the trees. It is as tall as a war elephant. Its antlers are tangled with vines and golden chains, and its legs are like trunks. And these drops of gold fall from its body and vanish as soon as they touch the ground. This creature is unlike anything you've ever seen, and you've trained in knowing what different creatures are. And this is something that seems as though it is otherworldly. It turns its head towards you, and its eyes are deep. They're not animalistic nor mortal. They are something in between, and it bows its head in almost respect to you, and then turns slowly and walks back the way that it came.
Oh my god. She is going to take one last look around herself, and then begin to follow the creature.
Okay. As you begin to follow this creature, it doesn't run ahead, it walks slowly and with purpose, as though it's walking with you, and it's very cautious not to trample you, because when I say this thing is huge, it's massive. And it's very aware of you, and it's almost leading you somewhere. And as you follow it, the forest begins to slightly shift around you, and at first you don't notice it. It just seems like you're going deeper into a part of the rainforest that maybe you've not been into, but the trees start to look different. They grow taller, and their leaves look as though they are edged with silver, and the flowers bloom into these impossible colours, and the air begins to hum with this like quiet magic, something that you're maybe not 100% used to. You're very used to a certain kind of magic with the shaman and the people that around you that have the capabilities to do magic, but this magic is ancient. It's something that makes your shoulders feel lighter and your breath feel deeper. And as you turn once more to look behind you, you realise that you are no longer in the rainforest in Azmar. And I will change the map. God, where is it? I'm so great at this.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm okay. There we go. So, as you now take in the sights, the stag that was with you, this giant creature, it seems to not have disappeared, but it shifts into this like whirling mist, and it dissipates into the air around you, and the air takes on this, like the light around you takes on this golden hue that matches perfectly with the colour of this stag. And it's almost as if it's playing with you, but not in a malicious way, in a very innocent sense. And there is like serpents of mist that coil throughout branches in the distance, and these stone idols that reveal these glowing seeds. And in the distance, you can hear the sound of voices, and it's not too far in the distance, but it sounds as though it's a group of people who are chatting and maybe a little bit confused. And as this stag, which is now this light, moves, it bends like water, and it stops at the edge of this grove. And at its center, you can see this giant circular building, almost like a Colosseum type building. And the stag, the light that this stag was emanating, vanishes into the trees around this building.
Do you wish me to go in?
You don't get any sense of communication. What I will say is there is this almost unspoken tug from something within you. This like gentle nudge of like, go on.
May I pet you, please, before I go?
The stag reforms from this swirling light, and it bows its head again and just kind of like waits with its head right in front of you.
Oh, so good. Golden entity. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, they do. Very carefully.
It is Twitch.
And after, as long as she can, she's going to pet it. And I'm going to assume it's going to turn back into the golden light, she's going to walk into the circle.
Okay. So as you walk in to this circle, you enter this, if the map wants to load, you enter this room, and it is this almost like a meeting room, and you come face to face with this gnome with this wild hair and like ink stained fingers, and she is sitting at almost like a makeshift desk at the front door, and looks up at you and goes, "Oh, welcome. Take a seat, please. We are nearly ready." And as you move, you feel something press slightly into your leg, and when you reach into your pocket, you find this small circular wooden token with a number on it, and the number is 1.
Always number 1. I'm going to look if any of the chairs are like marked or something like that.
Nope, it seems like a first come first served kind of basis.
In that case, I'll take this one. Oh, sorry, I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm going to stand back up, slightly give a respectful nod. I am Amaru from Azmar.
She gives
Who are
a
you?
she gives like a knowing smile, and she's like, "Don't worry, dear. I know exactly who you are. My name's Poppy. It's a pleasure to meet you. The others will be here shortly, and then we can get started."
Started?
Yep. And with that, she turns back to the desk and begins writing stuff on paper, and that is where we'll leave it.
Well, if it's going to start, I bet it's going to be exciting.